I'm here with actor Joe Perrino, who currently is starring on Power.
That's right.
Yeah, just had some fun in last night's episode. Before we get down to that, though, we want to keep the Power fans waiting, just a little.
A little bit, little tease.
Little tease. Vincent over here. So, talk a bit about your rise up from your beginnings as an actor, which I believe you were 14, right?
I was 14, yes, how it all started. Well, let me first say, as a kid, like 10, 11, 12, even 13, I was prone to like depression. I found myself always just thinking about life. What am I going to do with my life? And this like crisis as a child.
Yeah.
And as my mother would take me to Wendy's for like lunch and whatnot, I would ask her, Mom, what am I going to do with my life? I even as a kid, I felt like this void. I didn't love school or too many extracurricular activities like sports or whatnot. She would always say, don't worry, baby, someone's going to find you on the street and show you your destiny. And that would make me feel better.
Yeah.
So, flash forward to my 14th birthday. We're eating at Mario's restaurant in the Bronx, in the Belmont section of the Bronx. The Little Italy. Pardon?
Is he still there?
Mario's still there, going strong. Yeah.
Better get some free meals after the name drop.
I know, right? I've been dropping those names for years. And next time I go, and I'm going to bring them all up.
I'll send you a link.
Yeah. So we were in Mario's eating my birthday meal, and my brother and I and my cousins, we snuck out to go sneak a cigarette. And we went around the block, and we're under the Enrico Fermi Library, and a drizzle starts coming down, and a car pulls up, and this gentleman gets out, he comes over, and he gives us his business card. He says, I'm working from the Belmont Italian-American Playhouse that was on Arthur Avenue, and I'm helping to cast this movie called Sleepers, and we're looking for Italian-looking kids to come try out for some roles. It's based on this best-selling book by Lorenzo Carcaterra. I'm not a weirdo, here you go, come try out. As soon as he gave me his business card, it's like the lights went on in a dark room. Everything made sense. It all aligned. I said, that's what I'm going to do with my life. I'm going to be an actor. And, I always loved movies, and I had a vivid imagination. I lived in my head, in my imagination. So it all made sense. I said, for better or worse, acting. Yeah, that's it. It's like I need permission. And so I believe the next day was the audition. And I get there, and he gives us sides, the audition scene, and he gives us like 10 minutes each. It was me and a couple of other, I think my cousins were with me.
Were they auditioning, or they just came with you?
Yeah, they were auditioning too. While I'm arriving, my brothers are running down the stairs. I'll never forget. They were like creaky wooden stairs as you go up, and he's just running down. He was like, "Yeah, I sucked. I'm going to the Yankee game." He was out of it. He's like, "I'm not an actor. I'm going to the Yankee game." So I'm going up there, and he gives me the sides, and I'm reading it. And I'm like, "Okay, this is my dialogue. Okay, And he calls me in. And I get in there, he turns on the camera. As soon as he turns it on, I start shivering, shaking. And he, looks at me, and he politely turns the camera off, and he asks, compassionately, "Are you okay, Joe? Are you all right?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine. Just above the lines I'm supposed to say in the bold letters, it says shakes." Yeah, and he goes, "Yeah, that's the name of your character." I said, "Of course." So he turns the camera on, and it went off without a hitch, and I was obsessed with getting that part.
And your obsession ended up getting you. You got the part.
I did. I auditioned for from May to the end of August, and they put me through, every audition doing the most intense scenes because it was a very emotion-intensive role. There's a lot of crying, a lot of being abused and whatnot, and I had never acted before. nary a school play, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So
And that was for Sleepers.
that was for Sleepers, my first film.
Yeah.
And that was interesting. And after that, kind of everything fell into my lap. Offers came. I signed with CAA, the biggest agency in the business at the time. They might still be. And offers started coming in, straight up offers to do this film, to do this miniseries, this teen comedy, this melodrama. And it was just weird because I didn't know the value of anything, the value of the struggle, and that brought about some guilt within me. And it was just a strange time, and working on the film, spoiled me, because it was just worth these fantastic, top-tier actors working with this meaty subject matter that some actors never get a chance to even audition for, something like that. And so, long story short, it was a lot of, I didn't feel like an artist. And so I pretty much sabotaged my career. I went about turning things down because I could, and because I didn't feel like I deserved them. And, the projects that I ultimately did work on in those years, my agents basically twisted my arm. I'm glad they did, because they were fantastic projects. But, yeah, so...
It's interesting that you're bringing this up and you're talking about this, because I would assume, and from the interviews that I've done, that it's usually the other way around. It's you get a role and you want to do keep moving up, and you have the confidence to get there. And you're kind of coming at it like, I booked my big break and it was a huge role, but I didn't feel worthy enough, and it kind of set me off on a trajectory that I suffered a little bit because of it.
Yeah, it was very just it was strange. I mean, I get this lead role. I'd never studied, and at that time I wasn't really studying. I would meet with coaches, maybe do one-on-ones and whatnot, but I didn't have really like a circle of artists my age, this circle of inspiration that is necessary, very beneficial to have. And so yeah, just going about that, dealing with that, looking myself in the mirror and not feeling like an artist. And then, throughout my teens and early 20s dealing with that, then my father fell ill with cancer, and he ultimately passed away. That was shattering to me and my family. And then he had a bunch of painkillers laying around. So you take a couple of painkillers to kill your pain, next thing you know, you have an opioid addiction. So it's a few years dealing with sabotaging myself, not feeling like an artist, mourning, opioid addiction. I was going into rooms and kind of blowing auditions, not looking my best, not allowing myself to be the best version of myself. And I around that time, that's when Sopranos came about, Sopranos Audition, and that was, I had gone in for the Sopranos a few times, but I always loved the show, but I didn't have the obsession to be on the Sopranos.
Right.
I went in, I auditioned, didn't go my way, and then when that part came about, Jason Gervaisi, I was so disillusioned. I was bartending at the time, and I was going to turn down the audition because I had a bartending shift. And I remember I was on the phone. I think I was vacuuming, and I'm on the phone with my buddy James, and he said, "What? You're going to turn down The Sopranos to go do a bartending shift?" He's like, "What are you, a bartender or an actor?" I said, "You're right, buddy."
Was he also an actor? Or
He is also an actor. James O'Connor, one of my brothers, fantastic actor. Excellent actor. He works a ton as well. Yeah, and he said, "You're insane. You go on that audition, or I'm gonna go in for you." And I decided I was gonna go, and I looked at the material. I said, "I understand this guy front and backwards," and I went in and did well. And that's where I met another best friend, one of my best friends, Michael Dreyer. Yeah, we played Jason and Jason. So yeah, that was
Jason Square.
yeah, Jason
So
Square.
cute.
Yeah.
Do you think that struggling with depression when you were younger played a part in self-sabotaging yourself, thinking you weren't good enough?
Maybe. Maybe that was there. That was lingering in there. I feel like it's because it's not that I wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
It's that I didn't deserve it.
Gotcha.
That's
a very different distinction.
Yeah, I didn't earn it. It's not that I wasn't good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel that that's like truly a strong suit of mine. If
Mm-hmm.
I'm, keeping active and committed, that I do feel like I have very good ability as an actor. That and I love acting, and it makes me feel whole. But I just didn't feel like I earned it. Because even around that time, I'm watching Inside the Actor's Studio, and there are actors talking about their days of struggle, and they're working this construction job and going to class at night. And I said, man, I didn't have the struggle.
Yeah.
And I said to myself, I remember the day, I said, I need the struggle. And I went about bringing that about, and I did go through the struggle, and now, I'm a different person.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was going to ask you that. Your outlook has obviously changed.
Absolutely.
Do you wish you were a little bit more compassionate towards yourself, your younger self?
Yeah, sure. But I'm here now.
And that's what matters. Yeah.
Yeah, I think in retrospect, you can correct. Hindsight is 20/20, but
I feel like everybody's journey is like things happen kind of for a reason.
absolutely, I do believe in destiny to a certain degree. I was meant to go through certain things, learn from them, and so after Sopranos, I landed the assassination of a high school president, and I met another great actor, Vincent Piazza, and I loved how he just got down to work and how he, broke down a scene, a script, and I asked him, "Who are you working with? Who's your teacher? Because I want that." And he introduced me to my acting godmother, Alice Spivak, the great Alice Spivak, one of Uta Hagen's proteges. And that's the first time in my life when I truly dove in headfirst in the undertaking of just building the foundation of the craft. And, she just works in theater, learning the classics, American classics, Shakespeare, all of that. And from 2007 to today, it's just a, constant working on that and staying fresh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What were some of the valuable lessons you learned studying under her?
Studying with Alice? Just, you develop a deep well of reference. You work on this project, you work on this play, and then when you're going on an audition, you're thinking, oh, this is Treat from Orphans, or this is Hamlet, or you just learn these great pieces that, at the end of the day, those things inspired the thing that inspired the thing that inspired the thing that you're auditioning for. The writer was inspired by this other project that was inspired by this classic that you're learning front and back. It's just so many invaluable tools from studying, consistently.
Who were some of your inspirations? Speaking of inspiring,
acting inspirations.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny, when I did Sleepers, I had never really, I don't think I ever saw a De Niro movie, so that helped me in a large degree because I wasn't intimidated at all. My father, when he met him, it was like a kid meeting his favorite baseball player. He was like, "Oh, Roberto De Niro, mamma mia."
Who needs to go to the Vatican and meet Robert De Niro? Right?
Oh, absolutely. He was like a child.
Yeah.
But I guess the obvious, or maybe not so obvious, De Niro, Pacino, especially in the 70s decade when they were doing these fantastic movies, Dog Day Afternoon, and Taxi Driver, and all that. But I love Benicio del Toro. I love Denzel Washington. You know, so many. Tom Hardy is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You mentioned Michael and Vincent. This is from my point of view. Obviously, I don't know any of you personally. I have interviewed Michael. You guys all seem to work pretty frequently, but you also seem to take parts that are very character-driven, and that you want to put out good work, and that you're not necessarily looking to be the next big thing. And do you feel that's important as an actor to do that, because you're really perfecting your craft?
Well, I can only speak for myself. Yeah, it's I just want to do great work. I want to present a person. I want you to see a, you know, multidimensional, you know, fully realized person, living and breathing, not playing an idea, you know, not playing just surface.
Right.
I want to give you the truth as I see it.
I feel like I meant to say less showy parts. You guys are like, you don't maybe play the showy, flashy, like, oh look, it's Iron Man flying through the sky, and not pigeonholing Robert Downey Jr. It's the first one.
Oh, he's fantastic.
Fantastic actor.
He's a fantastic actor. Yeah. And I love, you know, the superhero movies and action movies. I'm down with that. I would love to do them, but bring my slant to it, bring my perspective, bring what I feel I can add to that.
And what would that be? What do you think you would contribute to a like a franchise movie like that?
Well, like what Robert Downey does, he seems to be in the moment a whole lot, and he's listening to his, he's listening and responding to his partners, and he's, you know, he has different relationships with the different characters. Right. It's not just one relationship for everyone. It's this person, maybe I like him more than this person. He's done his homework, and he's studied for so many years that, you know, and that's why he's such a fantastic actor. He brings the layers to a role, and yeah, always looking for the humanity.
Is that important to you to have friends like Vincent and Michael to lift you up and be like-minded in their projects, and you feel like a real sense of like brotherhood?
Yeah, I feel very fortunate to have a great circle of friends that they're all great actors.
I can only imagine they feel the same way, though. I don't think it's exclusive to you.
I hope so.
Yeah, if not, then we will try and get them fired from every friggin' project they ever
That's
book.
right. No.
How dare you?
Yeah, it's important to have a circle of inspiration, a circle of support. It's very important because you deal with a lot of regret, not regret maybe, but you deal with a lot of letdowns, a lot of no's, a whole lot. So yeah, you deal with all of that, but then an audition comes along that you know, gets you inspired, like you know, the audition for Power.
That little show that you may or may not be on?
Little show that's tiny, little...
That no one watches, ever, anywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
Power in its final season right now, and you've been on for a number
Season
of
6. I joined Season 5, and let me tell you how that came about. Yeah, so it just came through like any other audition. I remember when I got it, I opened up the email, and I had a great feeling off the bat. I was very, you know, excited about it. I knew that I was very right for it. The only thing that might work against me is my age. That's happened before. You know, I go for crime figure or villain, what have you, and they say Joe Perrino's great, a little too young for it. So, but I prepared. I went in. Christine Cromer casting. Shout out to Christine Cromer's fantastic casting director. Very, very sensitive to the plight of the actor. She makes you feel very comfortable when you walk in. So I went in, and I felt I did it. From reading Christine's face after I read, she looked quite pleased that's happened many times before. You can't go off of that.
I was going to say, yeah, that's going to be a skill you have to not like rely on, I guess, because
Yeah, no.
they could just be being friendly.
True. But I couldn't, then you have to, find that balance of, man, my spidey senses are really telling me that I nailed it, but that's happened before, and I didn't hear a peep. But I felt great about the audition. And I left, and I had my rep call, and they kept calling, because I wrote them hard, like, can you check again? And they kept coming back, Joe's in the mix. He's in the mix. Till finally, they got back to my rep and said, we will let you know yes or no, either way. Just stop calling us.
Your headshot goes in the garbage.
Yeah,
your
stop.
Gets burned.
I said, okay, but I
Block number.
Yeah, that's right. I had a great feeling about it. And, but like a month went by, another month went by, and I heard nothing, and I guess I thought, okay, it didn't go my way. Then I went with my buddy. I tagged along, and we went to go meet his manager. And his manager happened to rep Joe Sikora, who was on Power. And while we were just shooting the breeze, we were leaving, and I asked him, like, hey, you rep Joe Sikora, correct? He's like, yeah. Do you know who got the Vincent Ragni role? Because I went out for it. I thought I was great for it. And he went on his computer and he looked. He said, "Well, no, there's no name, but the table reads tomorrow." And I was like, "All right." And I thought I was perfect for it, and I remember it was September 11th, 2017. Beautiful day, and just in remembrance of September 11th. I left. As soon as I left, my phone rang, and my rep was telling me that I got the role of Vincent Ragni.
It's crazy. Did you break it to him like that you knew the table was tomorrow?
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did.
I know that because I'm going to start tomorrow, aren't I?
Yeah, I was like, but it was just amazing. Yeah. And I get the script, and I go to the table read, Steiner Studios, get off the elevator, and it's a room much like this, but just windowed. All windows, the sun's shining in, it's setting. I'm greeted by the beautiful, brilliant Courtney Kemp. She's standing there like regally. She just happened to be like, the doors open up, and she just happened to be like walking in as well. And I said, "Hello, Miss Kemp." And she says, "Hello, Joe." I'm like, "I'm playing Vincent Ragni." She's like, "I know who you are. I hired you." Wow. She said, "Welcome to Power." And I walked in, and there's 50 Cent, and Joe Sikora, Amari Harwick, and Tori Naughton. Everyone's there. Gary Lennon, wonderful Gary Lennon, the co-showrunner. And I'm like, man, this is amazing. And truly, I was sitting there like pinching myself.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be just a 5-episode arc. Something was supposed to happen to Vincent. Something bad.
I was going to say, clearly did not happen.
Something terrible. But after the first episode, we filmed the first episode, I believe. Yeah, the first or second, the second episode, Courtney Kemp pulled me to the side, and she said, "You are doing favorable work, and we are going to retool the storyline, and we're going to keep you around."
That's fantastic.
Vincent is going to survive and flourish, and he's coming back in the last season. So.
Did that give you pause to say to yourself, wow, like I knew this part was mine or should be mine, and I made such an impression that they're writing more for me?
I was just incredibly grateful. I was, and I am. Just thank you, Courtney Kemp. She just, gave me such a gift. And thank you to all the writers. Being a showrunner, I have respect for directors, writers, everyone. It takes a village to make an episode, truly. It's a team effort. A showrunner, they're not only overseeing, they're writing the scripts, they're overseeing the whole process. It's just nonstop work, so
yeah,
you have to really be a special breed to be one. So,
what have been some of the memorable things that have come out of Power for you?
The incredible fan base, all the fan love. Power has a passionate, vocal fan base. and just they're embracing me and playing Vincent. Just amazing.
Yeah, I saw some Vincent fan love this morning. A couple.
Oh yeah,
photos,
yeah,
which
huge,
is pretty
huge.
cool.
Yeah, they're feeling what Vincent's doing. They're
Yeah.
getting behind him. They're supporting him in his decisions.
That's good.
Yeah, that's great.
It's good to have a supportive fan base.
Huge.
Not a, hey, he needs to be blown away next
Yeah,
episode.
no. I mean, that's good too. You want a slight opposition. If some people aren't feeling what you're doing a good job. But
Yeah.
it's by and large just incredibly supportive, and yeah, it's just amazing. I mean,
I'm going to try walk a tightrope on this question, and if you can't answer it, I completely understand it.
Sure.
Now that you have wrapped filming Power, and without giving away anything, was your character in a place that you would have anticipated that he will end up, or did you have a different thought, even though the character should have been killed off last year, or was originally supposed to be killed off last year?
now that it's all said and done,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised where the storyline is going and where it went and where it's going. Yeah, no.
This has been your longest running role, right? On a
Yes,
show?
yes, it
Yeah.
has. Yep.
Going forward, what types of projects would you like to go out for? Are you into theater?
Yes, I love theater.
Yeah.
I mean, so Power is in its last season, and I'm also I'm on another series, a Netflix series called
That's
It's
right.
Bruno.
That's right. Yep.
It's a short form, 15-minute episode, 8-episode season of the first season. It's 8 episodes, 15 minutes each, and it was nominated for an Emmy, Best Short Form Series. Didn't win, but that's okay. And yeah, it's very, different, a comedy, and I had the most fun I ever had on a set filming It's Bruno. It's created by the multi-hyphenate beast, Solvan Naim, Slick Naim. He is a writer, director, he's acting in it, he's the lead in it. He's a rapper, he's just, he's a true inspiration. And yeah, I hit him up, asked him, I remember he put on Instagram, I'm in the casting process, and I hit him up, is there anything I could try out for? And he's like, oh, actually there is, and he sent me the breakdown. I said, I'm gonna have fun with this guy. I play Mario, the local pet food shop owner, and I was reunited with Omar Scroggins from Power. He plays Spanky on Power. We don't have any scenes on Power, but we had a great time. We have great chemistry and a great time filming on It's Bruno, and fingers crossed for season 2.
That'd be awesome.
So yeah, but theater as well. Through Alice and our group of students, we developed a theater company. She is the president, of course, and head director. It's called On the Road Rep, and through On the Road Rep, I was able to play Danny in the Deep Blue Sea by John Patrick Shanley. Also Treat from Orphans by Lyle Kessler's Orphans, who Lyle Kessler came to a performance.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was amazing. But those are just priceless gifts. Those experiences. It's just amazing.
Are there? Is there a certain role that you have in mind that is so outside your comfort level that you could now, or that you would like to tackle?
Yeah. I feel the wanting to just do everything. Maybe it's something like a couple years ago, I truly would joke around about it, like, oh, a musical. Like, get out of here, I'll never do a musical. But maybe, who knows? You don't know what you're capable of until you really, take the plunge. So, yeah, everything. I mean, I definitely want to do a kind of, I'm drawn to like character studies, something like a Taxi Driver, or, something like that, things like that. But everything.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't want to put any limits on myself.
Right. And I think that's probably the worst thing an actor can do. You got into the business to play a multitude of parts, and not always going to be comfortable doing a role, which challenges you more to be a better actor.
Sure. And other people will, you have enough outside forces trying to put you in a box, so you shouldn't put yourself in one.
So how do you juggle work and getting personal time for yourself, and what do you do to unwind?
Well, what clears the head, and a good cardio high, a good cardio workout really clears the head and puts me on like cloud nine. I love getting together with friends. As you get older, you realize you need to make friends. Friends.
When I was younger, I didn't need any friends, but now that I'm older, I need validation from them. Damn it.
You need to make time for your friends. No, you need to make time for your friends.
Yeah.
I mean, because next thing you know, you lose touch and whatnot, and that's a shame.
Yeah.
So I read this article about a study on. They followed. It was the longest study I believe ever done. They followed 40 people from ages 10 to 80, something crazy like that. And what they found, what gave people a fantastic quality of life and what made them live longer and just be healthier and happier is maintaining friendships. Yeah, it's a very important thing. So going out with friends, having a social gathering, having a few drinks with friends is definitely how I unwind.
Since you were kind of thrown into acting as a career, before that, did you have any sort of direction of what you wanted to do with your life in terms of a career trajectory?
No, I mean,
You were 14, yeah.
But I was definitely, Hi guys. Just doing an interview.
Fans, they're coming.
Yeah,
they're
power
coming,
fans.
running for him.
Take a picture with you soon. No. Kidding around.
Yes, we are just joking.
Just joking. I'm very grateful for all the love. Seriously, it's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But I was in that kind of funk as a 11, 12-year-old. What am I meant to do? I was truly focused and trying to find what my destiny was, and I guess God, maybe through my mother, she was the messenger, because she said someone's going to find you off the street and let you know. So that's what happened.
She knew something. She must have known something. That's pretty
Mother's
incredible.
intuition.
If you didn't go to that restaurant that night and go out for that cigarette, you wouldn't have gotten the opportunity.
I do.
I mean, not that you wouldn't have ever gotten an opportunity, but
No.
that night led to the audition and getting that first role.
It was destiny.
Yeah, it's
I
crazy.
do believe. Yeah, I do believe that. Yeah.
That's awesome. Joe, I very much look forward to watching Power play out. The rest of the scene. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Did you have anything else you wanted to say?
Oh no, man! Just stay tuned
Yeah.
for next week, episode 6.
Yeah, episode 5. What happened last night to? Like we mentioned, you had some memes going around today. So,
Yeah. A lot of people are responding to it. Yeah. Vincent's fed up, and he wants his money. And if he doesn't get it, bye-bye Tariq.
Have you learned any strong arm tactics being on the set to extract money from people who may owe to you in real life?
Oh, I've learned those lessons a long time ago.
You're bringing real life experience to your role on Power, right?
A little bit. I was raised around some serious individuals, so I learned those lessons a long time ago.
I'm sure the fans are really excited to see where Vincent ends up, and hopefully he ends up above ground and not wearing any kind of cement shoes.
Hey man, it's the street life.
But that's right. You gotta
street life. They knew what they were signing up for.
Yeah, that's awesome. Joe, thank you so much. It's been
Thank you.
An absolute pleasure interviewing you, and look forward to what's coming up next after Power wraps.
Thank you. Appreciate it.